How many times have you been to a workshop with Kenneth and Sharon?
Oh, I've been married for about 10 years, and my husband and I have been studying with Kenneth and Sharon probably for the 10 years, so I'd say 10 times.
If you could describe them as a couple in a few words, how would you describe them as teachers?
I would describe Kenneth and Sharon as really great teachers because it's not just a body of knowledge that they're giving, but they're actually teaching us through their experience and their own experience, and giving us tools to actually create our own lives. So.
Do you feel comfortable with them? Do they create a comfortable atmosphere for you to experience the work?
I feel really comfortable with Kenneth and Sharon. Even when things get in a sticky little place for me, I find that there's a real presence and a caringness that comes from their teaching, and I feel very safe and protected when I work with them.
This may be a hard question to answer, but I'm kind of wanting to know if you can describe how this has affected your relationship with your husband, your beloved, being able to work in this kind of a context, doing this sort of work.
The Sacred Loving workshop has actually, and the work that we create together through Sacred Loving has actually become an anchor to my marriage, so that when I know that things are really rocky and shaky, there's always a place that we can come back to. I know that through our commitment, my husband and I, that there's always a place and a safe harbor to return to. And that's how I look at this work, as a safe harbor to return to in my relationship.
What would you say to someone who hasn't done this work, who feels like, oh, this is just about sex? What would you say to them?
Well, you know, sex is a really powerful energy, and it's something that's really important in this work. But I also know that it's the gateway to a whole other experience of humanness and human consciousness. There's a lot of, there's a whole smorgasbord of feelings and potentiality in human beingness that's available through practicing these practices and using these tools and practices that you learn.
So you said it can affect human consciousness. How have you experienced that?
Through this work, I mean, there's many ways to create altered states, and some of them are quick and some of them are slow through practice over time, like meditation. And I actually find that doing this work, the Sacred Loving, is the quickest way to produce a healing atmosphere and a healing result within a marriage and an individual.
Mm-hmm. So some of the tools you've gotten are not just about how you maybe perform with each other in the bedroom, the kind of typical way someone might think of this. Does it affect your sort of day? Do you have tools that you use on a day-to-day basis that have nothing to do necessarily with intimate touch?
Well, my practice right now, I mean, I use the practice is also a metaphor for my life, because there is within me a couple. There is a balance of masculine and feminine that I'm dealing with, and it doesn't always balance very well. So I find that the practice of this as a white tantra, not so much as a red, as always the coupling. I find that it's really important for myself to find my center and my balance, and when I do this, I can bring that balance to my work, to my relationships, and to my community.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.